and this is Studio 7 on YouTube West. And yes, I have another Steve McQueen movie for you. Why? Because he's damn good and he made a bunch of damn good movies. And in this case, it's kind of above average because not only did he make a bunch of good movies, but he helped get this movie made. And that is the 1966 Robert Wise version of The Sand Pebbles. Now, the story is loaded. It is loaded with a lot of background. There are times where it's going to seem tremendously slow and agonizing. You have to get through those 5 and 6 minute bursts because there's about maybe 4 of them in this movie. And this movie is freaking long. You might have to do it in 2 sittings or you might have to do it in a day. But at 196 minutes, it is one of the longest movies I've ever reviewed. So let's get to it. What makes it awesome is the story of the Sand Pebbles. The boat is the San Pablo. It's on the Yangtze River. It's in China during China's revolution. It is Americans thrust into the heart of a problem. It is a love story intertwined with violent action by Steve McQueen. It has one of the strongest casts of its time. Follow me on this. You have Steve McQueen, Richard Attenborough, Richard Crenna, Candice Bergen, 17 and a half or 18 years of age at the time. You have Mako, M-A-K-O, who you will see from 1966 through 1990 in various movies, including the most recent Ben Affleck movie, World War II movie anyway, Pearl Harbor. You have Simon Oakland, who, if you've seen a couple other Steve McQueen movies like Bullet, if you remember a TV show called Baba Black Sheep, you've seen Simon Oakland, and you're going to have other people that become famous, not just because they're character actors, but they actually get their own shows later on. Gavin MacLeod, who was on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, and of course he was Captain Steubing of the Love Boat. The movie itself is filmed in wide vista vision. The sound is Todd A.O., which was developed by Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz for the movies. When this movie used to come on and I was a kid, it would always come on in 2 parts, and it would always break in the same place. And we would sit down and watch it because it was this 2-night event with popcorn and whatever. And when we watched it, we were all fascinated with Steve McQueen's solitary portrayal of trying to understand the turmoils of politics, the desire that he had to continue in the service, and the continuing understanding that he gains along the way that he's disenfranchised with it. The action sequences are outstanding. His interaction with Mako as the new coolie working with him in the engine room is wonderful. The fight scene is incredible. The battle sequences are awesome and worth getting to. And the whole time, you have guys like Richard Crenna and Richard Attenborough who are surrounding him, making this story kind of come together. And so my suggestion for you is to take the day, take the rainy day, turn off the phone, tell everybody you're going out of town, there's no cell coverage or whatever it is, watch the whole dang movie straight through if you can. Break for nothing but the bathroom and popcorn, maybe some ice cream or Coca-Cola, whatever it takes, but watch this movie because they don't make movies this good anymore. And one of the reasons why I've developed Studio 7 to tell you about these 7 out of 7 movies, and a lot of McQueen movies is because they don't make them this good anymore. And then when they do, the action sequences are so short and the music is blaring and booming and going after your head and it's drilled in to these CGI effects and whatever else it happens to be, and it lasts 42 seconds, and boom, they go on to something else because they don't want you glancing down at your cell phone going, why doesn't this dialogue end? And that's the problem with movies today, is you guys miss the point. The point is that you're supposed to transport us from where we are now into the reality of the movie that you're presenting. You're supposed to entertain us to the point where we don't care about the reality going on around us. If the house was to catch fire and we had 30 seconds to get out and there was 17 seconds of movie left, We want to watch your movie. That's where you have to bring us. In fantastic direction that's as good as John Huston or John Ford or anybody else that you've seen. It has acting that's better than anybody on the screen today. It has a story that's better than anything John Grisham could have ever written, and he probably would have desired to write. It has music that's as good as anything that Trevor Rabin, Marco Beltrami, Basil Podorus, or any of those folks have ever done. It has that Leonard Bernstein kind of touch, but in this case, it's the second guy who's more famous in my book than Leonard Bernstein, and that's Jerry Goldsmith. For YouTube West, the show is Studio 7. I'm Bob West, The Sand Devils, 1966. See it.